Awful breakup stories. According to Reddit. Number 18. I foolishly decided that moving into the same building as my boyfriend would be cute and convenient. It was only later that I realized I had let Crazy put his dick in me. After drunk driving my car, getting me mugged, and stealing from me, I simply decided to end it. I broke my lease and began to pack. I didn't get all of my packing done in one day, but I was nervous enough of him that I didn't want to stay in the same building. My ex was so pissed off at me that he decided he was going to break into my apartment, plant some drugs, and then call the police on me. My super called the cops when he saw him trying to get into my apartment. Thank God. Well, in case any of you are listening to this on today, Valentine's Day, and feeling like your life isn't explosive or spontaneous, romantic enough, think about somebody getting so upset that they don't have their way that they're going to try and plant some drugs on you. Yeah. Cops don't care, baby. It's just another head for prison. You'd be just blatantly surprised at what some people are capable of. When they mad, they don't get their pussy. See, if it were just me, the boobs would be fine. You know? You can't get tied down. Don't allow yourself to be so anchored on this earthly plane. Number 17. I got dumped via a text message while drugged up on painkillers while recovering from an operation, meaning that I'm sorry that I can't deliver that well at first glance, but it wouldn't kill whoever wrote it to, give me a second here. It would not kill whoever wrote it to have not made this the clunkiest sentence possible. So let me try it again. Number 17. I got dumped via text message while drugged up on painkillers while recovering from an operation, meaning I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 whiles. Just rolls right off the tongue. After not telling me why and being ignored for weeks and being blocked on Facebook, I was asked by a friend how I was coping with what she said. Am I allergic to this entry? I later found out he meant the fact that she broke up with me for another guy. When I asked her about this, she said, "You don't know what I'm thinking, so stop trying. This happened 7 weeks ago, and I still can't go through a day without forcing myself not to text her or stalk her Facebook." It's messed up when some girls do some guys dirty, because you learn real fast that the only thing that makes it okay for you guys to talk to each other is the fact that she's okay with it. So listen to that real close, ladies. You can at any point decide that you don't want to be in communication with a dude anymore. No matter how much history y'all have, no matter what you've promised or, y'all have been through, blah, blah, blah. You can just wake up one day and essentially ghost the motherfucker. And if he goes above and beyond, you can get a restraining order on that motherfucker. A lot of the things that we end up doing mutually are only okay, are only quote unquote love, because it is a two-way street, because it's reciprocated. When it's a one person or one side doing it, that is creepy. And boy, you better find a way to move on before this ruins you in a big way. Somebody says, "I know the feeling, bro. Block her and all her friends on Facebook. Delete her number. And if you're as lazy as I am, this should work. Just make it as difficult as possible to contact her. What helped me was to think about how awesome I am and how crazy she must be to break up with it." It's so cute. I'm so sorry. This list is like doing something to me. I'm like yawning like 1,000 times. I really hope you guys aren't doing anything other than preparing for bed, because if if my yawns are contagious, you may be in trouble. You know, if you're in the tub right now, rubbing your hot body and getting nice and clean, you may want to make sure that if you were to slide, if you were to fall asleep, that you won't end up, inhaling some water tonight. Okay? Not good. I want better for you. Stay out of trouble. Hello to Pistachio Boy, Black Wolf, Lilium, Art Scrub, Black Wolf. Again, what's wrong with you, Kyle? Happy birthday to Black Wolf. He says this is his birthday. I think we're like 6 days away from my birthday. Not bad. Demetrius Middleton, hello. And Seraphin Bear says, what are you and Dia doing for today? We're fucking kicking it, homie. You know what I mean? Today is just another day. When love is love, every day is worthy of celebration. She's getting herself some nice sleep, if that's all right with y'all. In the middle of this middle of the day list that I decided I wanted to crank out for everybody. Here's hoping it hits the spot. I wasn't sure what people might like. So, number 16 on this list of breakups reads, I met this girl on Valentine's Day. Oh, it's today. Whoa. Stupid. Guitar Slinger, what's up, man? He says, may I add you on Xbox Live? Sure, but I don't play much Xbox. Oh, but you can join my Minecraft realm, if that's how you get down. Minicart says, today is my driver's license test. Just wear a low-cut top and I'm sure you'll ace it. Kyle, can you say that on television? It's not TV. Might as well be YouTube trying to make everybody play by these corny-ass FCC rules. Number 16. Why the sad face, Minicart? Are you sad you're getting old? Before you know it, it'll be 2040, and you'll be asking yourself where the hell the time went. It'll literally make you sad to think about. Just throwing that out there. So number 16, I met this girl on Valentine's Day. I was single, bored, and wanted to be out of the house, but didn't want to see or talk to anyone. So I go to Starbucks, sit on my laptop, working on some code with my headphones on. My focus is interrupted by a tap on the shoulder. I look up and there's a really cute girl. I take off my headphones and she was asking about my tattoos. We talked for a bit and I showed her some of my ink. She showed me some of hers. Then her friend wanted to leave. Before they left, she gives me her number and asks me to call her. Boy, this lady is already pregnant and she wants you to stick your thing in there without wrapping it up so that she can pretend the baby is yours. Run! This girl trying to baby trap you. I call her that night and it turns out she's in the hospital. I ask her what happened and she explains that she has cystic fibrosis. She normally waits to tell people until after she knows them a bit longer. I didn't know anything about cystic fibrosis, so I got to Googling while talking to her. And the next day I get off work and we've been texting all day. She was complaining about hospital food, which she's grown accustomed to being in the hospital every so often for months. I showed up with some food, stayed there, and we talked for a few hours. She told me that whenever she starts seeing someone, once she ends up in the hospital, they realize she's there for 2 to 3 weeks. Every 4 to 6 months, they lose interest. And none of them ever bothered to come see her. So I came by every day for 3 weeks to spend some time with her after I got off of work. This is the most super heroic thing I've ever fucking read in my life. I met my brother, a couple of her friends. I got along with all of them, you know? And guys, don't make it seem like I'm belittling anybody in uniform or people who are fighting for other people's rights and giving their lives for all kinds of stuff. It's just like, what? You know, we know incels, we know neets, we know people who would, and this is the tragedy, for every incel or neet that we read a story about, there is a genuine nice guy out there who never leaves his house, but would do any and everything for some girl. And the funny thing is some girls are like that, you know, before they get ruined by whatever idiot they latch onto. where like maybe their first relationship they're just devoted to and loyal and they'll do anything and go above and beyond. And some people are like that in a relationship, regardless of how many people they end up with or breaking up with. But this is a little bit, incredible to me, because it's like, damn, bitch, like you only just met this person, but she tapped you. She saw you and was like, damn. And that's crazy. How adorable. How adorable. But in a sad and kind of realistic way, I want you all to think about how, for most girls, it would be that simple. Walking up to a dude, tapping him on the shoulder, saying, "Hi, I like this about you. Here's my number." And like a dog, you wouldn't be able to get rid of them. It's the realest thing I'm going to say to any of y'all. And hey, some of y'all are probably fucking around in middle school or high school or college, And if you're in middle school, what the fuck you doing watching this? But, y'all ain't really old enough to be messing around. Not saying college and high school isn't old enough, but it's like, y'all need to play the field. Y'all need to know what the hell's going on. When you're still in school, you're rubbing enough shoulders to where you almost have this choice, this pick of the litter, so to speak. And I like to think of it like this. You really hungry, and one plate comes by you gonna grab that plate and just eat whatever's on it, so much as you won't vomit or you're not allergic to it. But if you're not that hungry and there's like mad plates coming by, you're probably not really gonna flinch for one of those plates unless one of them got some of that, some fucking cheesecake, some shit on there. You know what I mean? Give me that hamburger. All right. That being said, even though I do genuinely believe that for most women, they can just go tap somebody they're interested in on the shoulder, and depending on the situation with that dude, they may not be able to get rid of that guy. Some people, unfortunately, in school, there's nothing you could fucking do to fall into the specific person that you may be interested in's line of sight. You may be invisible to them for the rest of your life, but hopefully that's a lesson in learning that, not everybody's interested and how to deal with that. Some people can't deal with rejection, and hopefully that's not you, because we don't want to be part of your day of reckoning. All right? Don't make us a part of it. Jeez. Art Scrub says, I have cystic fibrosis too. That's why my old ex broke up with me and spread a rumor that I died. I'm very sorry to hear that, sweetie, and I hope that things get better for you. As well as for Emma. Emma's, her life's falling apart. But she's gotta bend down, pick those boobs up one at a time, and then just hope for a better tomorrow. As we continue this entry about the guy who's visiting the girl for, every day for 2 to 3 weeks, he met her brother, a couple of her friends, and got along with all of them. We dated for 3 months after that. I learned a lot about cystic fibrosis in that time period, and she lived every day like it was the last, because for her, it might be. With only 60% lung capacity, that was compounded even more because she was only 4'11". And finding lungs with her that were both a match for her and wouldn't fit wasn't easy. And would fit, so it wasn't easy, sorry. I thought a lot about what I was getting into, but I was happy, and I didn't give a shit. I prepared myself for the worst and enjoyed each day. One night when she's sleeping over at my place, she wakes up in a fit of coughing. You know what I think this is going to be? I think this is going to be a story about how he breaks up with her and then asks her to marry him. So unless she dies, which would be terrible, which would genuinely be terrible, I think, I don't know. I think he's going to break up with her and then ask her to marry him. Kind of lame. Okay. We dated for 3 months after that, and one night when she's sleeping over at my place, she wakes up in a fit of coughing. I wake up and pat her back and try to help her break some of the things in her lungs up, when she tells me we have to stop this. I ask her why, and she says, I don't know how long I'm going to live. I don't know if I'll ever get new lungs. I tried to talk her out of it. I told her I understood what I was getting into, and she told me I don't bother getting close to anyone because I'm going to die and leave them behind, and I don't want anyone to miss me. Normally guys just leave after I'm sick and in the hospital for a bit, but I know you won't, and it's not fair to you. No matter what I said, I couldn't convince her. She packed up her stuff and left, and asked me to forget about her. And the scariest part about all of that is that it's her choice. Damn. As quickly as she was there, she was gone. Our relationship was short and intense. A little over a year passed, and I dated a few more women. The whole time I felt like I should have said something more. I should have tried harder. But that was that. I ended up meeting my current girlfriend, and one day I get a text from my ex. She got new lungs. She wanted to apologize. She knew I had a new girlfriend and didn't want me to bother responding, but she wanted to apologize. My current girlfriend expected me to go back to my ex. Jesus Christ, dude, she knows. And she'd understand it if I did. I never even considered replying to the text. I'm happy now. And I've heard she has met someone, and they've been together for almost a year. Hopefully she's still happy and live a long life. This is the most terrifying entry I've read in a long time, because it also ended in a way where they didn't get together, and I'm immensely satisfied with the ending. You know, he found a way to move on and found happiness with someone else. And I think the craziest thing about this entry, as far as the reality of it, like what makes it real for me, was the fact that, yeah, she jumped up one night and was like, look, I'm making the choice that this isn't fair to you and we shouldn't be together. Now, I'm the type of person where I believe that communication is a big deal in most relationships, and that you should both come to a conclusion and move in the direction of what both people want. If you give a shit, if you genuinely give a shit about your partner, then you should move in a direction that is mutually beneficial. You know, you shouldn't do something just because you think that's what they want, and they shouldn't do something based on thinking it's what you want. You should both move based on what you tell each other you want, and that's why communication is important. No games, no tricks, no omission, no bullshit, just honesty, like two genuine people making shit work together. That's what an adult relationship should be about. However, you know, these are, I guess, crazy circumstances. And if that's how she feels, that, you know, she simply shouldn't be with this guy, regardless of whether or not he wants to be with her, you know, maybe she'll convince herself that it's all pity and that she's, you know, she doesn't have the self-esteem to regard herself as anything more than someone that he's just with because he feels sorry for her. Whatever, they separated. And what's impressive and very adult is that the dude didn't seek her out. You know, he didn't start stalking her. He didn't blow her phone up. He didn't visit her and find her at hospitals after she said, no, I'm done. He accepted her being done. And the only thing that's sadder than the fact that, unfortunately, because of the connection that some people make, that dudes chase these hoes when they say they done, you know what I mean? Thinking about them all the time, you know, following them on social media, trying to show up at their place of work, or, you know, where they go to school, or if they're in the hospital or some shit like that. The only thing sadder than that is that some hoes play games, and that's exactly what they want, you know? Now, when I say bitches and hoes, obviously I'm not talking about all of them, ladies. I love you and your big, pretty, veiny boobs, but some of these hoes are the problem. What is the problem? These chicks are the types that would lie about being hit by a man. They would have somebody beat them up and say that, you know, this person hit them. These hoes are the types that would lie to the police. about where people been planting, drugs for the cops to find and calling them, all kind of bullshit like that. Even though earlier in this story, it was the dude doing that kind of stuff with him. In the context of this, story and what I've read, there are bitches and hoes who expect, after deleting or blocking or trying to break up with their dude, they want them to, quote, fight for them because they trash like that, because all they know is playing games. And I'll tell you what, it's a red flag. And if the girl that you are chasing or the guy that you are chasing is playing games like that, get the hell away from him as fast as you can. Because it's not going to stop there. This is the type of bitch that might provoke a fight somewhere to get you to fight for her honor. That may antagonize somebody to the point where it becomes violent and expect you to jump between that and her. Like, please, before it's too late, make sure that you don't end up in a situation like that, because it's not going to be worth it. It's really not going to be worth your freedom and your time, because you only realize that your time is irreplaceable when it's gone, when it leaves you, when you're not in control of it. So that's all I'm saying. These are the same hoes, yeah. Seraph Bear said it. These are the hoes that would just straight up fabricate stories about non-consensual relations with people that they fully and consensually agreed to being in a relationship with, and they just gonna flip the story now because they're chasing money, because they're chasing clout, because they're just fucked up like that. All right, I'm not sure where to go with it sometimes, but that's the world we live in, unfortunately. So as we continue up this list, we arrive at number 15. My girlfriend was studying abroad. Went to visit her after several months, saving to be able to buy a plane ticket. Arrived and she almost immediately told me that she was with someone else. The ticket, of course, was non-refundable. So I had to spend 5 days completely heartbroken in a city that I didn't know, filled with people whose language I didn't speak, without the means to go home. It was the worst week of my life. I'm so sorry. That sucks, dude. Jesus. What kind of dirty bitch makes you travel? What kind of dirty bitch makes you travel when she knows that you're just going to be there for not what the hell? Bradley Moore says, what a shit show, 5 days. Nah, man, it's 7 days to my birthday. And if you're listening to this and you can hear that, go to my wish list. The link is in the description. I believe in you. Wait a minute, is this a link too? No, that's too big a link. Never mind. Maybe it works, I don't know. Bradatas says, I'm into some kinky-ish, and I asked my ex-boyfriend to hit me during sex. Hell nah, boy. He said no because he was afraid I would sue him. I was sad, but then again, he was kind of smart. But your dumbass don't know that dudes, some dudes will bruise you, some dudes will punch you and choke you. But the only way that's happening in Kyle's house is if I have you on camera saying that you consent to this kind of treatment within the context of sex. How boring and lame is that? You know what I mean? That I'm getting a video of you saying that you consent. Crazy. But it's necessary because of the way that things go these days. Because of how everybody wants to change their story and try to go to court. Invent this, invent that. And here's the crazy part. If it can happen to Johnny Depp's bitch ass, it can happen to us. Johnny Depp is rich. You understand? The law bends in favor of people with wealth. And I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about cash. I'm not talking about riches. I'm talking about wealth. I'm talking about enough money to have disposable income that you can commit for just a month to investments that will make money. When you got money that makes money, you are not rich. You are wealthy. You understand? Wealth is not something you can typically spend unless you go out of your way to cut that spigot off, you know? So with Johnny Depp, he did make the choice, the foolish choice, to get with a dumb, young, crazy, you know, beautiful but insane broad. And, you know, she took his ass to the moon and back, I guess. But come on now. Is it worth it to have somebody physically abusing you and then lying about it?
You're the abuser. You do it. Yeah, I hate you, but you. I'm so scared. I'm gonna cry. I am gonna cry. He's guilty.
Bradley Moore says, that's some 50 Shades non-disclosure contract nonsense. Bro, I don't know what 50 Shades is about. All I do know is that it's fairly basic, and it is a mainstream way of getting girls into something that has existed before them, exists in a hell of a lot darker a way right now, and will continue to exist without them. I like to believe that without having seen 50 Shades, I would imagine that it is baby's first kink, you know, media, and it's like accessible enough for like a woman who Facebooks and likes minions to be able to feel like, oh, you know what? You remember Twilight? Twilight was perfect. Here's why. Because it knew its demographic. It knew its audience. And long story short, any single, you know, young or middle-aged broad was going to be able to watch that and be able to self-insert herself into the role of Bella to be fought over by this zombie. No, sorry, what? Is he a zombie? No, God, what am I thinking? Vampire. I'm so sorry. Vampire and werewolf. Damn.
Pretend these are bells and you're my Tom Nook for the laughs and spittin' truth.
Neat McKinley, I appreciate you. That tree fitty is gonna go a long way. You're making my world. You're making my Valentine's Day. Thank you, my man. And thanks to anybody who off stream does go to the wish list. You're making my world in a bigger way than you know. Leave a request on the little notes that you send when you do something from the wish list, because I will honor those requests if they're not absurd. But sorry, initially going back to what I'm talking about with this 50 Shades of Grey crap, I know it is the mainstream edition of, you know, kinks. It's like baby's first kink playset for Facebook and ladies who like minions and say shit like live, laugh, love, or if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, shit like this. But the comedy of things like that and how it falls right in line with shit like Twilight is that, to me, the character of Bella is such a blank slate that any hoe watching that can just self-insert. And with some video games, you can expect that kind of blank canvas, but most movies have like characters and shit. You know what I mean? Unless it's deliberately in service of the plot. Like I like to think maybe The Matrix, Neo is deliberately just kind of like a blank slate in a way. He becomes the chosen one, but maybe he's just supposed to be like average guy who inevitably wakes up to the idea that he is in a simulation. But I digress. Okay, I digress. These hoes out here making it worse for the normal women, for the normal God-fearing, you know, stable, be it mentally, financially, physically, any, you know. These women out here just set y'all back, and it's tragic. I feel so bad because I know that some of these people that come into my stream and haven't been here before and aren't going to give, you know, more than a couple of videos a listen will definitely hear me and assume that I don't know, I'm misogynist or some bullshit. I get some of the greatest comments, but in reality, I love women. I hate the terrible ones. There's terrible representations of every gender, of every, you know, ideological belief, of every race, and much like I'm a black dude. I see some stuff on TV occasionally with black people and think, my God, they setting us back. I'm sure that people watch things with their own race and think to themselves, oh no, you know? In a way, people watch the tragedies when they unfold as far as the shootings are concerned, and it's like, what race is this guy? You know what I'm talking about? Come on now. It's not like a competitive thing, but it's tragic when, unfortunately, there are too many tallies in certain departments, certain categories. My God. See how many deleted entries there are? 7-year-old post. How do I do it? Number 11. My wife left me and the kids, after taking care of her after a hysterectomy. She said I wasn't romantic enough to her. Ooh, yeah, she deserves so much more. She's gonna leave you and the kids. Right when she was able to work again, abandon the kids. I guess raising kids and supporting her through bed rest wasn't in the What the fuck? Did I scroll up and show you guys this? I guess raising kids and supporting her through bed rest wasn't in the 50 Shades of Grey novel. Now she pays me child support. Biatch, what a dumb hoe. And I'm glad that she got. And I hope she pays to raise her fucking kids the way that she should have been available emotionally for. What kind of mother? And it's a mother that's tricked herself into thinking she deserves a life that she read in some basic ass fucking book that was pitched at little girls. Holy fuck. This might as well be like witchcraft or like magic, the way that we rolled up into this entry. That's so sad. That's so sad. You know what's going on right now? Grown-ass women getting caught in this bullshit-like ideology of pretty bitches. Of vapid, dumb, pretty hoes. And let's face it, those vapid, stupid, ignorant, pretty women on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, they get away with being vapid and stupid and having nothing beneath the surface because they are attractive, and they'll be able to get away with seating themselves with somebody that can pull that fucking, I almost made a terrible analogy there. I don't want to go there, but that's my point. And it's crazy that imagine, just like, I should make a room in the Discord for just the type of shitty, stupid thoughts that some girls have, thinking they're super deep and they're super unique and different, when in reality they're super basic. But they get away with saying stuff like that and having people at their feet because they're attractive. Simple as that. But imagine how damaging that kind of like, oh girl, just act however you want. You're so fine. I love you. Right? But imagine how damaging that kind of bullshit is to an old lady who is maybe past her prime, maybe doesn't have much to offer anymore, maybe already is in a seated fucking relationship with children. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. Keep your breast perky from me. I love you. You need to go shower off all the troubles of the world. I need to shower right now because I was working outside, but I was running down too quickly to the time of the stream. Crazy things happen, but I did want to get this out for you for Valentine's Day because I love you. You know what I mean? Think of me in a shower for Valentine's Day. You know what I saw today? Somebody had like a bouquet of weed or something like that. That shit was nuts. Number 10. I continued with my high school girlfriend after I went to college. We were only 100 miles apart, and things were fine for the most of the freshman year. Nice. One day, she stopped returning my calls, and this was right after I had spent the weekend with her. I continued calling and got worried, and one day, which I will need forget, I was walking back after class and called her. A guy picked up and said, "There's a new sheriff in town, stop calling." I could hear her laughing in the background. I loved her dearly. I wanted to get married after college. I was devastated. I went home, put on Kid A, and moped for a year or so. 4 years later, she apologized to me. I was dating my now wife at that point. We are now friends. Get the fuck away from this bitch. But I still hate losing those years of depression. Oh my god, man. Stop being friends with your fucking ex when you got a wife. This is your ex. Any other weirdo hoe that wants to get on her knees and, you can tell her to tone it down. That's cool, Pop them titties out occasionally, goddamn. But an ex? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. There's history there. It's not good. There's history. You've been inside that. She's not going to know her place. That's more what it's about. Inside, outside, whatever. But the fact that she don't know her place and think that she going to be edging anybody out as far as
No, I need to prove to myself that I can still get it. I need some confidence that only I can get from you.
Number 9. My boyfriend went to see his family and stayed away. Before he left, I noticed that he was very nauseous all the time, and my boobs. No, I noticed I was very nauseous. My boyfriend went to see his family and stayed away. Before I left, I noticed I was very nauseous all the time, and my boobs were sore. Nice. He was nervous, and he left and said that he'd be back soon, and to keep him updated. Started getting bad cramping and bad bleeding. I thought it was just my period, but then the bleeding stopped after 1 day. I went to the doctor for tests to make sure all was good down below. Turned out I was pregnant and partially miscarried. I also had the first stage signs of cervical cancer due to HPV he had given me. And they'd have to laser it off. Isn't HPV herpes, my guys? It's an infection that causes warts, genital warts. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kept him informed of what was going on. He freaked out and never returned and admitted that he was cheating on me with a woman in his hometown. And she got HPV. Nasty. Ew. Ew. Titties only. I need to make an app for people that never want to leave their home but still get sexy. It can be a hentai thing. Have these people heard of hentai? Jeez. In my game called Avatar Bang, we all make an avatar and then we just chat. It's like Bitmoji, but hentai avatars. And it's kind of like The Sims. So you gotta talk them up, talk them down, talk the pants down. Enough. All right. That's how I gotta make the money. I gotta make that money. Number 8. Well, entry went on forever. I'd been dating a girl for about 4 years, and she seemed perfect. We had been living together for 2 years and had no relationship problems that I was really aware of. We both took jobs in different states. The same state, same company, same town. We were going to move in about 6 months or so. My job required me to go to complete training in a completely different state until then. So I said goodbye to my fiance and travel off to this third state where I live on a shoestring in order to finance our almost cross-country move. While I'm away, my fiance starts telling me that she's been spending a lot of time with this female friend of mine that I introduced her to. My fiance was bisexual, and we had discussions about certain openness in our relationship, so I wasn't worried. In fact, I was happy that she wasn't as lonely as she kept telling me that she was. After about 6 months, I travel back home. My fiance doesn't greet me at the door. In fact, she had my only key and didn't answer her phone, so I had to sit outside of our apartment with my luggage, waiting for 30 minutes. Eventually, the aforementioned mutual friend drives up, my fiance gets out, and the friend leaves without a word or a wave. My fiance tells me that she had forgotten that I was getting in that day. Despite me having texted and emailing her earlier, I shrug it off, and we go inside and keep packing. We packed for about a week. The whole time she refused to sleep at our apartment, claiming that it was too uncomfortable to sleep on a foam mattress on the floor, and stayed at her now girlfriend's place. At the end of the week, we loaded up a truck and drove to our new state. Things seemed fine. She was smiling and happy. We get to our apartment that I had paid for in advance, a 2-story apartment with a fireplace, balcony, the works. It was supposed to be the stepping stone of our new life. She seemed happy, started unpacking her suitcase, set our cats out to explore. I started unloading the truck. 3 days later, I had finally finished unloading the truck. The fridge had food, the couches and beds were set up, the place was looking close to a real home. She was aloof, quiet. I kept asking what was wrong. She wouldn't tell me. She refused to speak. I tried to sit next to her and to talk, and she said that she was fine and she just needed to be quiet and alone for a bit. I said sure, if that's what she wanted, then I would let her have it. I went to bed, somewhat early, as I had unpacked most of the truck by myself. I woke up at 5 a.m. to a text message from her saying, "I'm safe. I left you a note." I immediately start crying because any idiot knows this means bad news. The note was a 2-page letter that was held to the fridge downstairs by a magnet. It was a long treatise. I'm not familiar with this word.
Treatise.
A written work detailing formally and systematically with the subject. Detailing. A written work dealing formally and systematically with the subject. Treatise. A written work dealing formally and systematically with the subject. It was a long treatise about how she never really loved me and only started dating me as a rebound, and that she stayed with me when she realized I treated her better than anyone else had, and that I was able to give her the best sex she had ever in her life. She noted that she came to the conclusion, with the help of her girlfriend, that she didn't love me ever, and in fact, according to her girlfriend, I was abusive and she needed to leave me for someone else. The gist of the letter was that I should feel bad about how bad of a person I was and am, and I need to be out of the apartment by the time she got back from her ski vacation, or else she would make me get out. Bruh. This is where my life fell apart. I was in a new town that I had only been in for about 4 days. I had no money because I spent it all on my cross-country move, and now I was homeless. I didn't want to fight because I was tired and emotionally destroyed. I was supposed to spend my life with this woman, so I started packing up my car, at least I had a car, and went to work as usual and spent most of the next couple of days looking for a new apartment. I eventually just threw in the towel and moved back to where I was living prior. Thankfully, I was able to keep my new job. However, the emotional scars still run deep, and I still have deep and powerful trust issues, and am highly paranoid without warrant. Now, everybody listening to this story that I took the time to read as delicately as I could, I want you to think about the fact that this bitch knew all of it and kept her mouth shut and acted happy and played the part. Do you get what I'm saying? so she could get all of her shit without having to pay anybody. All it took was one bitch to parcel tongue some hot, contradiction, some hot indoctrination into her ear and convince her that this man was bad for her. It's just crazy. Who can you trust? I believe that on the man's part, there was a bit of wanting to believe everything was okay. You know? And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. This is a terrible entry. So terrible, it's good. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hopefully you're not going out, okay? And you can just spend that money on a beautiful bouquet of chocolate. A bouquet of chocolate for me. Number 7. My ex and I went to Thailand together. Wow, that's where the young girls are. You know what I'm talking about. My ex and I went to Thailand together for a 2-week trip around the country. This was also a sort of birthday present for me, as it was right around my 20th birthday. On the 3rd day, he confessed that he didn't love me anymore and realized it a month before the trip, but couldn't tell me. Didn't want to be with me anymore. The trip was non-refundable. I had to get a new goddamn passport and take 2 weeks off of work. And it was his idea. It was miserable and humiliating, and I drank a lot. Instead of going home with me at the end of the trip, he stayed and got drunk with some of his friends who conveniently just showed up and slept with random girls. It's Thailand. My birthday was terrible. Then I had to explain to everyone of my friends and parents when I got back. I cried for weeks. There is nothing sadder than a girl who's going on a trip. Okay? Only to have the dude break up with her on it. Because now the girl's going to come back to tons of her girlfriends and family, who are going to be up her ass, basically wanting something to have gone wrong.
How was your trip?
You know what I mean? Girls are bitches, right? No bigger bitches to anybody than to each other. And they're going to love the idea that something went wrong. Oof. Fucking oof. There's girls out there, Kevin. Just because there's a bunch of ladyboys doesn't mean there's not really tight Asian street meats in Thailand. That's why Elon Musk says the terrible things he said, Elon Musk is crazy. This stream is brought to you in part by you. Thank you for being here. Like the video for me. Wow. Press like. Join the Discord for notifications of when the stream may occur, because maybe it'll happen like today in the middle of the day. Number 6, after I had surgery, I was able to fully hold a conversation, and I called my then boyfriend. He proceeded to tell me that I had too much drama. He didn't love me and he was sleeping with his ex. We hung up and I asked for more painkillers and went right back to sleep. What a scumbag. I don't think there's anything scarier than a person who can just be like, oh, you're in the hospital? I don't want to deal with that. It's over. And in this girl's case, I wouldn't be shocked if the dude sleeping with his ex came before her ending up in the hospital. Should she have been thankful to have ended up in the hospital? Because otherwise maybe he would have just been trying to double dip. What a world. What a world. Where are half of you? Are you at work? What are you guys even doing? everybody who's listening to this right now, type in the comment section what you're doing. And if you're with like a client because you work as like a prostitute or something, just send me a Snapchat, CYAEL, and tell me what the hell your job is. Tell me if you're working with a John right now. And you don't want to confess it in the stream chat. You don't think I know? You don't think I know? As a matter of fact, anybody who doesn't say what they're doing, that's exactly what you're doing right now. You're working over somebody. You don't think I know? One time I thought about whether or not somebody would ever like end up doing it, you know, while this was like on in the background, and then maybe one of them was like listening, and then I said something stupid, and then they kind of like choked. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking stupid. Danklad says, making a damn candy bouquet. Are you really doing that for me? Man, you really are a Danklad 420. Truly, this has been an Aqua Teen hunger force. Maya Nugget says, making Valentines. Now you got me wanting nuggets. You know, for $10, I could probably get them to bring me 40 nuggets. I think DoorDash was allowing people to get 40 fucking nuggets for $10. I was like, damn, DoorDash. I may have to bite off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. But McDonald's, calm down, okay? Have yourself some finer cuisine, Kyle. Got this girl rolling in here with her fucking McNugget username. As we continue up to number 4, he sent me a text message saying, you're dumped. While we were sat next to each other on a bus. Classy fella. You're dumped. Hey, who wants to be my girlfriend for like 3 minutes? I want to use this on you, please. Please. Please let me use it, please. Please. You have to let me use it, please. No. Come on. Hey, wasn't there supposed to be a GIF here? Oh my God, you know what I saw earlier? I'll share it with you, but it is not what I thought up. It's very important you understand that. I didn't think it up. It was just something I saw. Okay? And it was ridiculous. All right? So I will describe it to you now. Okay? It's a role play scenario where a girl that looks not unlike what you are seeing right now, comes up to you and says, hey, you know, I don't have a place to stay, and I was wondering if I could stay with you for a few days, or maybe more if it comes to it. I'm sorry, I'll find a way to make myself useful to you if I can stay. And then she admits that she has a little bit of a cough. It's no big deal, you know. She's really willing and able. She can fill whatever niche she says that you may or may not have. Just a little bit of cough. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, you understand? It was not me. Do you accept? Okay? Do you accept? I mean, come on. Fredrickson says, I don't trust like that. I don't trust like that. Oh my God. Look, I'll let you guys think about it. Okay? While we continue this quest for big titties and Amazon goodies. I'll let you guys ponder upon that, all right? Number 3. At the airport when I was leaving for deployment to Iraq. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. imagine, if you will, going to fight for your country and the hoe that you were with was going to break up with you right then and there. I hope they weren't like situated in a place together. That sucks. We're doing it, guys. We're getting to the end of this list. We're doing it, you guys. Tell me what you may be looking for, you know? Whether you're part of the stream right now, whether you're watching after the fact, let me know what you may be interested in so I can try to hook you up. This obviously goes out to you patrons. You know I'm all about you all day. And to sponsors, to anybody that's clicking that join button, you know, I love you, I appreciate you. All those emojis are at your disposal, and if you don't like them, let me know. We can set up some new emojis just for you, man. Well, let me know what's up. And let me know what you want, because I'm going to complete this list. Number 2. Oh, damn. I booked a weekend for my girlfriend and I in London in order to go see a concert and paid about 250 euros for it since she could not afford it herself. The day before leaving, sorry, I was moving the window. The day before leaving, I went down to the bank to withdraw some pounds, and I called her and asked if I should withdraw some for her. She replied,
Well, yeah, I don't have a lot of money right now.
And I was a bit confused. That was not an attractive noise. Why are you doing this on the microphone? I'm back. There was nothing going on there. Okay. So look, I was a bit confused. And anyway, I told her that she could borrow money from me and pay me back later. She still sounded hesitant and agreed that I could withdraw £50 for her, way too little to last the entire weekend. Damn, Demetrius.
Can't wait till RE3 comes out.
I'm glad that you're excited about Resident Evil 3. What is wrong with me? Damn, your donation is stirring up things inside my body. I hope that I don't get anything too intense, because I could transform. Listen, £50 was not enough for the entire weekend, so I went home and started packing. I didn't hear from her for a couple of hours, and when the clock was at 8 p.m., I could not reach her. I got scared. She had been acting strange all day, and now she wasn't answering my calls. So I tried calling about 15 to 20 times, no answer. I called her little brother, but he didn't know where she was. I found the number to her best friend and called her. While I was almost crying, I asked her where my girlfriend was and explained that I was taking her to London. The friend's answer was, yeah, I heard something about somebody taking her to London. I don't know where she is. And she sounded just as strange as my girlfriend did earlier. So I called the police. Nobody knew where the girlfriend was, and I was scared that something had happened. They told me that I needed to go check her apartment and wait 24 hours before reporting her as missing. So I took my car, drove to her house, all terrified, ran into her apartment, and found her in the bed with another dude. I just turned and walked out. Got into the car, drove home crying, called her friend again, just asked her what the fuck was going on. Apparently, my girlfriend had been cheating on me for 2 of the 5 years we had been together. Talked to her once after that, and her explanation was, well, I loved you both in different ways. You know, ain't it crazy how some people can just rationalize away treating a person like shit? They can just rationalize away the fact that they have been deliberately lying. That's their legacy. That's who they are, that they have been lying through omitting something that they know would change whether or not the person that they're with would want to be with them. That's rape, nigga. This whole video gets demonetized for me even saying the word, but when you're keeping information from a partner, a sexual partner, that you know would change whether or not they want to be with you, and especially whether or not they want to lay sexually with you, you are basically raping them because you're keeping something away from them. And it's like, yeah, I don't know how it's any different. I don't know how it's any different from somebody having AIDS and not saying it and then sleeping with somebody. Like, bitch, if you know and you're not saying because you know people won't if they know, then you're a fucking monster. You're evil. Holy shit. 2 out of the 5 years. You know, I wanted these lists, I wanted it to be kind of a downer, but these are like fucking bummers, dude. Maya, I love you. Thank you for that $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Thanks for lifting me up, because I didn't think that I would bring myself this down. This is crazy. So, this was back in the day on Reddit when people could ask their question and then leave their own entry. We'd only been dating for about 3 months and only see each other a couple of times a week. She lived an hour away and our classes clash. I came down with what I thought was a bad cold, but the other day I found myself unable to breathe and was getting scared when my home breathing treatments weren't working. I have asthma, so I went to the ER on Tuesday. I was admitted later that day with a lung infection. She works long hours, so I waited until the evening to tell her. We talked all of 5 minutes before she went to bed. I then didn't hear anything from her all day, so I was getting worried. Finally, she answers my text this morning and proceeds to tell me that this wasn't going to work out and broke up with me. So tell me, Reddit, what's the worst way that someone has broken up with you? Whoa. I didn't think about it that way. That reading these lists could seem like I'm trying to like keep people off of relationships.
You think you want a relationship? Well, look how bad it can get.
Nah. Mermaid Queen. Interesting name. Love you guys. I hope you guys have a good day and don't have to deal with shenanigans. You know, I hope the same, Mermaid Queen. I appreciate you all. And I thank you guys for your contributions. You're going above and beyond. And I appreciate it in you. I appreciate any and everybody who is... Somebody named Johnny Bravo earlier.
Love you guys. I hope you guys have a good day and don't have to deal with shenanigans.
Like, I really. Guitar Slinger says, how's that shower head? Boy, you know it's in there right now, boy. I think of you every time I get sudsy and wet. If only everybody else thought of me every time they got sudsy and wet. Damn. You know? With y'all non-showering asses. Prove it. Jeez. Stat says, I love you, bro. Keep up the good work. I love you as well. Hope you continue what you're doing unless it's terrible shit, in which case you flip the script. Is that a thing I'm supposed to say? No. I hope you keep up the good work as well, unless it's bad, in which case you should reverse that, you know? Taking a glance at your default picture, it kind of looks like Doug Funny from the cartoon show Doug with a gun. Unbelievable. It is Valentine's Day. I hope that you guys do whatever the hell this corny ass invented Hallmark holiday dictates that you do. I'm gonna fill my belly as I do on most days, eventually. Truly am thinking about those stupid nuggets now, and that's bad. Maybe a pizza? Nah. Maybe I tone it down. I love you all, and I'll catch you guys soon. Hope you have a wonderful day, and a special thanks to all of you. Also, Special thanks to Johnny Bravo, who became a member of the channel while the stream was off. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Special thanks to all the members, and a special thanks to the patrons. Have a wonderful day, and I'll try to see you later today. Love ya.